I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
He couldn't even figure it out.
This hearing is adjourned.
And as you just saw there, instead of properly introducing Representative McBride, Congressman Keith Self suddenly adjourned the hearing after that pushback from Democratic lawmaker Bill Keating. McBride, she took to social media after that hearing. This is what she had to say. She said, "No matter how I'm treated by some colleagues, nothing diminishes my awe and gratitude at getting to represent Delaware in Congress. It is truly the honor and privilege of a lifetime. I simply want to serve and try to make this world a better place."
Nah, we're not gonna rock out with that at all, bro.
Meanwhile, Representative Keith Self also posted on X saying it is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male.
And I agree. It is the policy of the United States of America to recognize two sexes, male and female. And I don't see what the problem is. I don't understand why we have to play along with the delusion instead of recognizing people for exactly who they are, which we'll go over to McBride. I'm just going to say McBride. I'll just, like McFly, McBride. We're just going to go over to McBride. But we'll go over to McBride shortly. But I thought that it was hilarious. And we are no longer bound by diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're no longer bound to recognize and acknowledge people's delusion and play along just because you dress a certain way, just because you wear your hair a certain way, just because you say you want to be a representation of a completely different gender. And honestly, I'm putting this on the fault of women. I am going to lay this at the steps of women. And I know that y'all don't care because you like, you know what? I think he should have addressed McBride a certain way anyway. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. I just believe that it's only two genders. And I don't believe that you can just wake up and be something completely different. If I want to be recognized as a billionaire, does that mean that I'm a billionaire? No, that just means that I'm trying to force everybody else to act like I'm not crazy and to dance around my delusion when I'm 100% delusional. Let me see what Representative McBride had to say.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party.
Man, that's a whole biological male, bro. Honest to God. Seriously, man, that's a whole biological male. I don't know what y'all want me to do. It's even difficult for me to be able to hear this right now because you can see the differences in the voice. And it's funny because I was listening to this black guy online the other day, and he was acknowledging somebody. I'm going to have to do a complete review on it. I don't even know if I wanted to save that into my algorithm because I didn't want to mess up what was being presented to me and the type of content that was pulling up on my feed. But it was a black guy that was like, yo, shooters shoot. I don't really care. This person looks just like a woman. And so I would go down that path and all of that. And I'm like, no, dog. No, never. At the end of the day, a biological male is always going to be a biological male. And honestly, like the surgeries and stuff like that nowadays is getting advanced. It is getting advanced. I mean, you know how when you see somebody and you know that it's a guy, like somebody is like, yo, this is a biological male, and they dress up like a female and they trans whatever. And you're like, yeah, I could see that. Yep, I see all of the features and all of that other type of stuff. But now it's getting to the point, if somebody doesn't point it out ahead of time, you'll just, if you don't hear them talk or anything like that, you'll just automatically give them the benefit of the doubt. And it just seems like society is so demonic that it's this fight between good and evil, or not even good and evil. It's a fight between evil and normal. and what is supposed to be normal, what God has ordained as normal. But let me hear Representative McBride and what they had to say, and then we'll go from there.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party that incited an insurrection. I appear to live rent-free in the minds of some of my Republican colleagues. I wish that they would spend even a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, thinking about how to lower the costs for American families.
Oh,
okay. I wish they would spend a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, figuring out how to make government actually work better, rather than making it work worse in order to prove that government can't work. They are obsessed with culture war issues. The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre. And the American people deserve serious legislators, serious.
Imagine a person that is sitting there with a man's voice, with several different women behind them, backing them up, dressed like a woman, telling you that the culture war that conservatives are having to normalize the difference between a man and a woman is weird. Imagine that. Imagine you live in a world. Listen, if I'd have told you 20 years ago, if I'd have told you 35 years ago, 30 years ago, if I told you 40 years ago that this would be a thing, you would be like, Anton, no way. Impossible. I could never see it. I mean, once we've seen a black man become president of the United States of America and then his main agenda had to do with the LGBTQ community, I guess that anything was possible at that point. But
elected officials who are focused on bringing people together to deliver real results for the American people.
Real results.
Not to play games and not to engage in schoolyard taunts.
Yeah, this world is going to hell in a handbasket, but we got more work to do. And we got to save who can be saved. We got to rock out with who can be rocked out with. And again, I'll lay this at the feet of our ladies because this is the thing that y'all advocated for. And we already know that the alphabet community hijacked feminism and feminism hijacked the civil rights movement. And even when you see what's supposed to be designated as a movement, which I don't believe in any of that nowadays because everybody should be able to stand on merit, which is what the president of the United States of America did as soon as he got into office. He signed it as an executive action. But I lay this at the feet of women because y'all are the main ones that's advocating for it. And now you see men in the House and men in Congress and men in the business environments and men in society and men protesting all across the board that are now thinking that diversity, equity, and inclusion really means a life choice. This is what you chose to do. You chose to put a wig on, and I don't believe that we need to prevent people from being able to operate in their humanity. I believe in the right of liberty, justice, and a freedom for all for you to be able to pursue happiness, whether that be financially or whoever it is that you want to rock out with in your bedroom, but don't force your delusion on us. Do not think that just because you believe it or just because it's meaningful to you, that I have to sit here and play games along with your delusion. And that's the main thing that is wrong with our society. It's the main thing that's wrong with the culture. It's the main thing that's wrong with society. It's the main thing that's wrong with us. We are forcing other people that can see clearly to put on these goggles that's telling us that something is what it isn't, and I'm not rocking with it. I'm not going with it. I don't believe in it. I think that it's demonic. And now it is represented in, all of our legislative branches, and I think that it's messed up. But I want to know what y'all think. Do you think that it was right for him to misgender McBride over there? See how I keep getting caught up? Do you think that it was right to misgender, according what the other representative said, misgender McBride over there? Or do you think that it was absolutely normal and it was okay and we need to start getting back to our cultural norms? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.